these are the list of real assets that Robert Kiyosaki loved. Well, why he doesn't want to venture into business? There's a reason for it. Because he said, if let's say the business, he needs to put in a lot of his time, then that is not a business. That is a job to him. It's a profession to him. It becomes his job. So that's why it is only through an automated business that he will perceive that as his business. So do you still remember the first business that he and Mike did, whereby they just passed the whatever operation to Mike's sister to operate the library? So to him, that kind of business is a business. Like for me, right now, I'm still actively managing my estate planning, my insurance, and my property management, right? I'm just working for it. But because I also have the vision, I tell myself that soon enough, I need to hire someone to help me auto-run my processes. Because I have the vision that I want to convert my business, my so-called business, into real business. All right. And second thing is stocks, income generating real estate. Those of you who played cash flow game the other day, income generating real estate, meaning to say the rental income every month is going to exceed your installments. That means the real estate is going to generate positive cash flow. Now that is income generating. Anything that if the installment were to exceed the rental income, right, that is negative. That is not income generating. That is liability in Robert Kiyosaki's theory. Yeah. And IOU notes, royalties from music, scripts, or anything else that either appreciate in capital value or produces regular income. It can be anything else. All right. So right now, the trend now is Forex and crypto. All right. So he mentioned again, I wouldn't encourage anyone to start a company unless they really want to do so. Why is that so? Now, because I believe in MCO, when a lot of people lost their job, they also want to go into entrepreneurship. But starting a company, it seems like may seem like a solution to everyone, but a lot of times they forget that they have no experience in business, and probably a lot of people, they fail in either execution or they fail in brainstorming the business model and everything, right? Like that day Edward told us about the business metrics. It's very, very easy, but it may not be easy when we want to execute it, because it requires a lot of thinking, what we need to do next. That's why I end up, a lot of the startup, 9 out of the 10 startup would fail in 5 years. So that's why he also emphasized again, if you want to play safe, keep your daytime job and mind your own business. Okay, so just now, still remember this person, the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc, right? He also mentioned that he is actually working 9 to 5, and at the same time he minds his own business. So he said 9 to 5, he would think himself as a salesman, you know. Why? Because he is in the line whereby he's selling hamburgers first thing. And the next thing is because he also go around to approach people to sell his franchise license. So his main business, his main job, he called it a job because he's actively doing his main job is selling these licenses and hamburgers. But then the real business is real estate. So that is how he differentiates himself. I believe that in most of the business, it also works like this. Probably we can ask one person, right, Yvonne, like whether they have any hidden business model in their business.
Yep. I think Jonathan is quite good person to ask today.
Yep.
Jonathan, can you come on and share or not, Jonathan? Besides kitchen, what else is your side hustle?
My side hustle, to be honest, I'm also a little bit like working for the business and haven't paid so much attention in terms of my own thing, right? So, but now it's changing. Now, I mean, in terms of side hustle, I mean, not directly from the business, but in terms of investments, in terms of looking at how to make your money work for you, I'm paying more attention to that rather than work, basically. Yeah, you have to pay attention to your own business, basically, or your side business or your side hustle, I think, right?
Yeah.
whatever it is. I think it's important.
Is it even Jonathan himself is a businessman? Even then, he said that it's that you have to mind your own business.
And, sometimes you get carried away, and then it's always work. There's so much things to do. But at the end of the day, what's the point of doing that? Whereby a company, you're earning money if your money is not working, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that I think everybody has to pay attention to that, and of course, not just go ahead and start a business or something like that or whatever, but to make decisions and not get carried away with the marketing of it all, right? Like, for example, I drive a Honda City, and a lot of my friends say, hey, you can afford, right? I say, what's the point? At the end of the day, it's a waste of money, right? And I say that those people who look at my car and think they don't like me, then okay, Lord, I think that person is not really a person. It's my friend, right? I choose not to spend money on the car. I mean, it's choices that you have to make, basically. Most people, wow, they buy a big house to stay in, they buy a big car to stay in, and like you said, they're struggling to pay the bank, and they're stuck in a rat race, basically. So I think that don't get caught in, I have to have this watch, I have to have this thing, I think it's important. I mean, what you guys are talking about in the book, even though I've read the book, right, many years ago and a couple of times, I think you still need to remember to pay attention to your own shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
and do you realize that every time when you read back, you will comprehend different things?
Yeah, for sure. I think that every single course you go to, every single book you read, depending on
The stages of life.
depending on the situation that you're in, and depending on where you're at, right? Because where you're at, then you're a little bit more. It's like okay, look out for a red car, okay, and then you only look at red cars, right? You don't look at the rest of the cars. So it depends on the way where you are at in your life. I think then you'll be more attuned to pick up certain things or different things altogether.
And I would like to add one point about Jonathan's point as well. Just now you mentioned about your friend asking you, hey, actually you can afford a better car. Why don't you buy a better car, right? Actually, what you're doing is right, because by you saving up the money, and you actually reinvest them into business, right? That is the right way for you to mind your own business, because that is the right way for us to make our money work for us. Correct, Jonathan?
Correct.
And Jonathan know that once the car touches the floor, 25% depreciation gone, right?
Yep.
Right. So, Robert Kiyosaki just stated all his preferred assets. So this book was dated back then. Right now, of course, right now we have a few more, like just now what I said, the cryptocurrency, the forex, and a few more derivatives outside, like PRS, like what Darren shared earlier. So to him, once you have $1 into your own business, right, never ever let it go. A lot of people, they make mistake whereby okay, today my side business is making 1,000. Don't want to invest all that, let's take it out. But because of them taking the profit out, eventually they lose out the compounding interest. All right. So why Robert Kiyosaki emphasized a lot for not taking out the money is because want to earn the compounding interest to make the money work 24 hours every day. Okay, not only that the money can help you to work 24 hours for 7 days, and it can also help you to work generations, right? Just imagine if today you are buying blue chip stocks. Back then it was so cheap. ETF, the Dow Jones reading back then was so low, but right now it has already reached up to 27,000 points, whereby in just the 1980s or 70s, right, it was merely just a few hundred to a few thousand points only. So can you see that by you putting on the assets there, not touching them, the compounding interest is so great that probably you cannot even imagine. And imagine if today you give it down to your children, how much it would have appreciated. That's why poor parents, when they deliver to poor children, right? If the children are being equipped well with the financial education, usually the rich children will be able to help them to not only preserve the wealth, they can also help them to create even more wealth for the generations to come. So that's why rich get richer, and not to say poor get poorer. I guess it's the matter of financial education here. Okay, like what Jonathan said just now. Rich people buy luxurious stuff last. Poor people, when they get their first bonus, maybe they want to think of, oh, I want to buy the Chanel bag there, I want to buy the Gucci bag there, I want to pay for the expensive cruise that I want to go all the while. I want to go Euro trip. I think I deserve it. But they forgot that by them changing their mind and venturing all this money into probably stocks or probably real estates, the gain in the future is even greater. Okay, over here, by them buying the luxury things first, right? They are not minding their own business. They are merely fulfilling their satisfaction at the moment. It's a short-term pleasure here. So they forgot about their long-term business, which is their investments, their businesses.